Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I got a review for you today. Today we're going to be talking about DC Comics, Stargirl, The Lost Children, issue number 5 out of 6. We are almost finished. It is written by Geoff Johns, art by Todd Nauck, colors by Matt Herms, and letters by Rob Leigh. Before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe on this guy's channel. It does help a lot. It's all free, doesn't cost you anything. It's just interaction between me and you about this comic, right? Alright, so one thing I will say about this issue, the first couple pages does a wonderful job of catching you up. If for some reason you're not reading, from the start. Basically, it is Stargirl and Emiko, and they are looking for these lost sidekicks who have been misplaced throughout time. They have found them on this island that is somehow in between times. The island is being held, or I don't know how you say it, but by this person called Childminder. We don't have any identity or really any information to go on, like her powers or anything like that, besides the fact that she is working for the Hourman, which is supposed to be a good guy. There is a lot of different sidekicks which are featured all right here, most of them that the story has encompassed so far. But some of the more important ones, of course, are Corky, who is a sidekick to Rip Hunter, who is a time traveler. He's the one that knows that this is like an island that's displaced out of time. That's how everybody has forgotten about these sidekicks. But basically, at this point in the story, they are trying to escape. As you can see, there's these like egg-looking like robots that have. Once they capture you, supposedly it's this nesting program, and you basically go into like a hibernation, and they try and reprogram you. But like I mentioned, all the kids at this time are trying to break, free. They have all bonded together, and they're kind of like just doing their own things. As the battle goes, most of the kids gets recaptured. Some of the more stronger ones end up kind of staying out of getting captured. There is like one note that Corky, he wants to be the one that's leading everybody, but like I mentioned, everybody at this point is kind of doing their own thing, just trying to not get recaptured. With nobody listening to Corky, he kind of takes off during the whole commotion shown here. Most of the ones that are holding their own, they have like exponential powers, of course, like Salem, Dr. Witch's like forgotten sidekick, Cherry Bomb. Most of the ones shown here are the ones that don't get recaptured, and at this point they try to come up with another plan. In the beginning, it's a whole bunch of bickering back and forth between Cherry Bomb and Salem, because Salem's been the one that's like, she hasn't had any issues during this whole thing with not getting captured, but at the same time she hasn't been doing anything to save anybody else, and that's what's brought up by Cherry Bomb. Like, this girl's been kind of just doing her narcissistic thing or whatever. Eventually, during all this, something important is brought up by, and I think her name is like Ladybug, as shown here, but that's her powers. She shrinks down, and she said she did it out of fear, but she wants to point out that Stargirl and Emiko, out of all these kids, they're the only ones that actually came to the island looking for the other kids. All the other kids got trapped here. So technically the ones that put the most love in this mission is Stargirl and Emiko, and that's the ones that they're going to choose to follow from this point. So it finally seems like they kind of have like a unison going on, even though some of the other ones have already left, like Corky took off and we don't know. So going back to the Hourman, and we kind of have more of a little conversation here, and it's just him scolding Childminder because she had claimed that she had everything under control, all the kids in captivity, and that's not the case. Hourman, he states that he's working for somebody, that he has a group of people that he's reporting to. Honestly, if I had to guess, it almost sounds like an Injustice League kind of thing, or a Earth 2 or something like this. Maybe he comes from their world or something like that. While talking to the Childminder, he wants to bring up that the most important ones are the ones with the most power. And he asked about, Judy Garrick, I think her name is, the daughter of Flash, and who is supposed to be locked up in heavy captivity. At this time, Emiko's finally getting a hold of Judy, trying, because she's in between passing out and waking up. And Emiko is like, look, I know you're a bunch of the Flashes, as shown here at the bottom. And she's like, look, they had this ability that was very simple for them, but they didn't know it at first. But it was this ability where they could, phase their molecules and get their molecules moving so fast that they could phase through anything. And after explaining that, she gets Judy to try it out, and sure enough, she kind of blasts through the chains that were holding her down. And Emiko tells her to do the same thing, but to go through the wall. She does so, and she does it a little too intense. It creates a sonic boom, but she still does make it through the wall. At this time, Hourman and Childminder both are alerted to because it was a sonic boom that went off in the castle. He even, says it specifically as a sonic boom. And at that time, now that Judy has figured that out, Emiko is just like, hey, we'll do it on that wall, do it on that wall. And that's what they're doing. They need to, she has expressed they need to find the other sidekicks before they are found. And as you can see, that's just what Judy does. She takes off and she's like, boom, 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 all over the castle kind of thing. And eventually she does start locating some of the sidekicks we haven't even seen, and one of the most important sidekicks, the one that brought him to this island. But this is the long-lost, forgotten sidekick of the Blue Beetle. His name is Sparky. And then we got this girl right here who claims she is a ghost, and she's living at the same time. She can walk between both worlds, become like ghost-like and physical at the same time. She's supposed to be friends of Impulse. And then we get Pinky Butler, who is the Whiz Kid. He's looking for Mr. Scarlet, featured here. And of course, I think his name is Blue Wing. I think it is. Oh no, Dynamite. And he's in the very beginning of the series, he was the older man that was actually remembering, some of his forgotten friends and stuff like that. And that's how they found the island, was due to his investigation. After finally finding these sidekicks, they are greeted with Hourman and Childminder, and basically it's an all-on battle at this time. And Emiko's like, let's revolt, and it goes on to a full-on battle with most of their kids using their powers. Dynamite unleashing his, and like I said, it's a full-on battle with Childminder kind of saying, "No, don't do this." While they start their battle, coming through on the other side of the castle, we get Stargirl finally, with this division of the sidekick kids, now in a team formation, coming to the battle. They get there, everything's all happy and everything, but as soon as they get there, they realize that Hourman has a lot more powers than the regular version of Hourman. Because all I knew about Hourman is he cracks his hourglass and he has an hour of super strength. His sidekick is I think a 5-minute, timer on his, but that's all the powers that Hourman has. But this Hourman, and this is the final page, but he seems to have a lot more powers because he instantly, kind of, I guess, cyclically locks onto these kids. But not only that, but he, you can see their eyes are all, they're kind of in a comatose state or something like that. But he says right here that he's saving them from complete obliteration, that he's not trying to do something bad, that he's actually trying to save them. But that's it for this issue. At the very bottom it says next and final issue, Young Justice Society is what it says right there at the bottom. But that is my review. That is the book. Man, I love this book. And a lot of people talk bad about Todd Nauck's head stuff, which I was not aware before this, but there's a lot of the head stuff here, and it still looks like the same great art to me. I don't know, maybe I have to see these headshots that he did before, but I love Todd Nauck's art. I mean, this is my only example that I can think of that I have from Todd Nauck's art, but I'm really digging his art in Stargirl. Every panel and everything, it's phenomenal. I mean, I can't explain. I don't know. Hey, but these are my thoughts. I'm loving the story. I love the art. I love this. I can't wait till we get to the next issue and see where we're going from there. I'm kind of hoping we get this whole Earth 2, like, you know, evil version of the Justice Society. Like, we've already gotten the Justice League. But as far as I know, we never saw any of the other heroes or villains that were incorporated with the DC universe as a whole from, like, I think it was Earth 2 or whatever the bad Earth is. I can't remember. Correct me. I don't know. Alright guys, but that's my review. Please comment down below. Let's talk about this. I love talking about the comics. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think is coming? What do you think is up with Hourman? He's kind of got like a whole Dr. Fate, Hourman thing going. I don't know. But hey, that's my review. Hit me up down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see y'all guys later. Bye!